In this video, you will understand what a box and whisker chart, also called the box plot, is, what it is best used for, and actually how to interpret it. We have a data set of annual salaries here offered by different companies for these specific job titles, and box and whisker chart looks like this. And in order to create it, select these columns, come to Insert tab, Recommended Charts, All Charts, come to Box and Whisker, click Enter. Now, let's proceed to something else here first. A little bit of statistics. Let's calculate these quartiles all the way from the 0th quartile to the 4th quartile. It happens that the 0th quartile is the minimum value, the 2nd quartile is the median, and the 4th quartile is the maximum value. We can actually calculate the minimum value using the mean function, the same with the median, and the maximum values using median and max functions respectively. But in this case, we are going to use the quartile.inc function for convenience. Quartile, and we can have a quartile.x exclusive, and this one will not include the 0th and the 4th quartile, so it will not calculate the minimum and maximum values. Let's try to use it just for you to understand that. As you can see, it is quartile. Let's try to use it. Let's give it the range, which is those salaries. Let's give it the quartile. In this case, the 0th quartile is in P3. As you can see, it is bringing up a num error, so let's autofill for these ones, and it has excluded the minimum and maximum values. So instead of using exc, we are going to use inc because it will include those quartiles, and now we have those values there. Now let's go to something else. Let's calculate IQR, which is the interquartile range, and that is Q3 minus Q1, 150,000 minus 90,000, you get 60,000. Now let's calculate this value, which is 1.5 multiplied by the IQR, that is 1.5 multiplied by 60,000, you will get 90,000. This value is so much important. Let's calculate Q1 minus this value, and basically Q1 is 90,000 minus 90,000, we get a 0. Now Q3 plus this value, Q3 is what? 150,000 plus 90,000, you get 240,000. So this is the range, 0 to 240,000. It is the range within which outliers do not exist. That means any value outside of this range is an outlier, either on the lower side or on the upper side. That is why a maximum value of 960,000 is just an outlier. You see, it is beyond 240,000. That is why on the plot you can see this value is 960,000 and it is indicated using this dot. Okay, let's now go to this illustration to understand even further. So this is what is called a box and whisker, and this box here is called the interquartile range, that is Q3 minus Q1, and it happens that 50% of the data values will exist inside this interquartile range, inside this box, and any other values outside of the box will exist within the whiskers. So these whiskers, these lines are called whiskers, and at the very bottom of the lower whisker we have the minimum value, and at the upper end of the upper whisker we have the maximum value. Now other values which now do not exist within the box and they do not exist within the maximum and the minimum values are called outliers. They can be on the upper end or even on the lower end. Something else to notice is that this line within the box represents the median value, and this X represents where the average value is. Again, let's now go to interpret this chart. And let's format it a little bit. I want this axis to be bold enough for me to see, so I can change to a black color there. I will do the same with this. Control B, home, black color. And we learned thus that these dots represent outliers. So the real maximum values here are on these top sides, and which whisker represents where the most big maximum value is. I think this one. So ideally the upper end should be around 300,000, and so we are going to change it. So in order to change it, while this axis is selected, right click, go to format axis, and now we want to change this maximum value to something like 300,000. Okay, so for ease of us seeing things here, what else? I think the real minimum values are not less than something like 20,000. So we will do the same thing. Sorry, right click, format axis, the minimum value is about 20,000. That will give us a real good scale. Very nice. And we can change our title to something like, what data science jobs are top paying? Data science jobs are paying. And bold it and give it a color like green. I like using green. I don't know why it is not behaving. I want a green color. Alright, again this blue color is too distracting, and let's change it. Click any box and right click, come to format data series, and we can come to this fill, and can we select a color? I would choose a color like this one, and that does it. Okay, this is better. Okay, I think now we can interpret this. Let's now seek to interpret it. Okay, so as you can see, whenever you see these values, these are outliers, and what that tells you is that either we've got so many errors in this data set, or we have some unusually high data values, which sometimes can skew your results. That is one thing we can draw from this chart. Another, to answer our question, what data science jobs are top paying, I will use the median values, and the median values are represented using this line inside the box. And so senior data scientist and something like senior data engineer and what else, and data scientist are the top paying jobs here. What else can we draw from this? Look at the length of the boxes there. Whenever you see a box which is too long, it means the 50% of data values within the box are highly spread. That means they are highly variable, and that implies that data is less stable. It is less reliable. But whenever you see a compact box, it means most values are concentrated on each other. They are closer to each other, and so that data is stable and it's reliable. And for those people seeking for stable jobs where you can determine or predict the salary with high accuracy, then data analyst and business analyst can be, and also senior data analyst will be top choice. So you can see the boxes are small there. And what else can we see? Watch out the location of the median, or this line within the box. If it is so much close to the minimum value, that means the distribution of the data there is skewed to the right. So more values are close to the minimum value, but the graph is stretched to the other end by some values which are huge. And also you can see the whisker there is so long on the upper end, so the results are skewed to this upper end. I think that is it for a box and whisker chart. Thank you for watching.